in studio with us, and he's here for his weekly show. It's not really a weekly show, but Frank Ross, special teams coordinator. We wish it was a weekly show because we love visiting with you. How's it going, Frank?
Yeah, great. Let's do that. Can we do that?
Yeah, let's do it. The Frank Ross Show. We're signing the deal right here.
Until special team starts to fall a little bit, then you get called back.
I want held that way.
We love you in studio, but we love you doing that more so than anything else.
Fair.
Okay. It won't fall back. He can handle it. He can do everything.
We know you could. We just don't want to put too much on your plate.
All good. Whatever you guys need. Good to be here.
Absolutely. Well,
I mean, listen, Coach one time threw Kenny Lofton at me. I was walking by, and he's like yelling at his return. He's like, I want you to be like Kenny Lofton. John Harris, you hear that? I'm like, he just dropped Kenny Lofton on everybody.
And then I did a Ricky Henderson.
You did.
Kind of some preluding here.
Yeah.
I have a Ricky Henderson T-shirt to give out to one of my special teamers at some point this year.
Ooh.
Then I have to explain who Ricky Henderson is.
Yeah, I was going to say, you have to
exactly.
explain Ricky. Yeah.
not to us, though, Frank.
You were ready on the Lofton. You were
Absolutely.
ready.
Exactly.
You have to explain who Sinatra is to your players sometimes, right? Okay, we'll get into that. In fact, let's go there right now. Coach's Cuts, Covenant House, right? June 6th?
Yes.
Tell us about the event. And this is something you've done before, but you keep expanding it, Coach, and tell us what it's about.
Yeah, thanks for allowing me to come in and talk about this. Super near and dear to the heart, and something that's grown. It's grown with the Texans and the Houston community. But honestly, this is really cool. June 6th, we will be hosting the 4th annual Coach's Cuts event at the Covenant House and they have a literal brand new. They just did their ribbon cutting to their new campus in Montrose, which is a $55 million building that now can house, don't quote me exactly, but up to 250 individuals that are experiencing homelessness.
Wow.
And the key with Covenant House is they're 18 to 24-year-olds. So it's a youth population that they can intervene from A to Z, really help to get them on their feet and hopefully divert them from a path of, a lifelong struggle and divert them onto a situation that can hopefully lead to a successful life in the community. So we're going to be there doing the 4th annual Coach's Cuts, and I couldn't be more fired up about that.
Coach, go back with us, if you don't mind, to when you actually started cutting hair and what that was all about. And obviously it's gone into this incredible event that you have now done for a number of years. But where does it go to? When did you start doing this?
So it comes and starts from a place of absolute frugality and cheap Frank. So I'm a freshman in college, and I had cut hair doing the summer cuts at basketball and football camp in high school. But freshman year, walk onto campus in 2006, and they said it was going to be $17 for a haircut. I said, nope. I went over to the Walmart. I grabbed a set of clippers, and I taught myself how to cut my roommates. And then on Tuesday nights, it turned into the common area in the dorm rooms was a barbershop, and I made my spending money there.
That was your NIL money?
It was my NIL money. It was 2006 NIL money was Coach's Cuts starting in the lobby of the dorm rooms.
Okay, so I got a hair story that goes way, way back. But we had a buddy of ours. A buddy of ours had cancer, and so we decided we were going to shave our heads. Before we did that, we were going to do all these crazy haircuts. Of
course.
And we had a buddy that was like, I don't trust y'all. Did you have teammates that took a little while to get them to trust you to cut the hair?
You got to do some trust earning along the way. When you get to a status when the head coach, my college head coach, Regis Scaife, Italian guy, hey, Frank, I need you to cut my hair. I cut his hair sitting in his office.
Yeah.
In his office chair. I cut his hair, and he had the kind of the 70s like little poof to his hair, and I used the scissors and the whole deal. So I had a nice little reputation going.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's a difference between cutting hair the way you wear it right now, which is straight.
Standard high and tight.
Yeah,
okay. I'm pretty easy. Yeah.
And then the layering effect that others might like or whatever.
I mean, you get Coach wrong, he's going to take away your targets.
That's right.
You got to get him right.
So we grew it along the way, and I got to a point where I was cutting coaches and players in the locker room, even in the NFL. I cut the whole staff on my old team. I cut everybody, including the head coach. I still cut. I cut Sarah's hair the other day. I cut it's pretty good. So
Again,
I think
that's just a straight
I think I'm trustworthy.
buzz. That's just the number 5 or whatever. Right?
Yeah.
I'm Nick.
There's some things that I would recommend go to somebody else, but I got the standards down. Yeah.
Wait, you're self-taught though.
Self-taught.
Self-taught.
By sound, you just take off the same amount.
By sound.
Take off the same amount, check it out, same amount, change that's how I do it.
Oh, my.
Yeah, I couldn't think about doing my own. I mean, my hair is a whole mess anyways, but I couldn't think about that. There's no way.
We got to get John.
Oh, yeah, Johnny,
No,
you're
I'll
next.
do
We got
it.
to get him. We got to get him in the chair.
I'll never. The first time I found out you cut hair, I'll never forget. It was your first year here, and you're walking on the hallway, and we got to know each other a little bit. But you said to me, "Hey, did you get a haircut?" And I was like, it wasn't like, "Hey, John, how you doing?" or "Hey, what's going on?" or "Hey, what do you think about the punt team?" It was like, "Hey, did you get a haircut?" I was like, I did, as a matter of fact. And so that's when, Coach, and I've always wanted you to be able to do it because I don't want to pay $17 for
There you go.
either.
There you go. No, I regularly and routinely I comment on people's hair, but hopefully they don't take offense. Oh, nice cut, nice. I notice it too much, but drawn to it.
Yeah.
So people at Covenant House are going to get their hair cut by you and somebody else too, or is it just you cutting the hair?
Yeah, I'll give you the rundown.
Yeah,
so
describe the event.
Coach's Cuts, and it's great. We're becoming, working through it, but becoming an official nonprofit. We've kind of got some tax-free status at this point. We're working through it.
Wow.
We provide a lot. First couple years, we did it at the Star Hope. Then we were off-site, and we went to a local barbershop, Empire Studios, which is Julian Diaz, and these barbers that come in and cut our players' hair. These are the best of the best.
Yeah.
And they cut all the players and really a bunch of other professional athletes around town. I mean, they come with me. They've been with me for going on this 4th year. So we'll all go down there, but it's grown. So the great part about Covenant House is there's females in the population that are currently in the campus. So we're going to be able to provide. We've done some limited medical care and dentistry work before. This year, we're going to be able, for the ladies, to provide something. Again, this whole thing stems to, man, can we make you feel good today?
Yeah.
And then just get your day going, give you a little boost, and really hopefully you stem that into something else. But for the ladies, we're going to do some manicures from the Houston Community College. They're going to come over and provide some nail techs to do some fingernail painting and things like that. Oasis Spa down in Pearland, they're going to come up and they're going to do mini facials for the ladies and give like a little a basic massage there and really lift some spirits of some people that probably don't get pampering very often.
Oh, that's awesome.
And of course, we provide some Italian food. We do a great job there. We do Olive Garden comes over with us. We do a whole thing there. Man, we'll get the Sinatra going and really lift up a really good atmosphere for a nice evening. The players will be there chopping it up. It's an incredible situation.
Is it only Sinatra, or will you expand the repertoire a little bit?
So when I'm cutting in the locker room,
Yeah.
it's strictly Pandora's radio station,
Okay.
strictly Sinatra.
Yeah.
And then when we play at we'll mix it up a bit. We'll get some good vibes too.
I know you don't do it for this. I know you do it because, well, we know you. I mean, you're an unbelievable individual. You do it for the betterment of those people that are involved. But has there been a moment over the last few years where you're just like, whoa, man? Like it just, somebody saying thank you or giving you a hug or whatever it might be, kind of the response to you and your guys doing what you do for them.
Yeah, it's incredible to be. Cutting hair is a very true service industry.
Sure.
It is me hands-on to another human being. And I think when you get those life experiences, nobody is immune to feeling that raw emotion. And it doesn't matter how many times you experience it. My mother, she kind of growing up, ingrained some of this spirit into me. I'm now in a place where it's kind of being cool. It's turned into something that it's embraced a little more, and I'm so thankful for that. But you go in there, regardless of this person's status, which doesn't matter, or this person's status, which doesn't matter. You're just in there to talk shop and give somebody a haircut. And when you hear somebody's, especially in this population, story,
Right.
It makes you realize real quickly how lucky you are, one, and how much you want to just help more for somebody who doesn't have it as good as you. And then, we'll go from there. My mother, Barbara, she's wonderful and truly an inspiration, but she has this great idea that we could one day provide an end to somebody's situation, an end game of, can we get them a scholarship to go to a barber college?
Yeah.
And get some employment with a trade of going to cut hair for the rest of their lives and having a good life after that. And I think that would be an incredible thing if we can get that accomplished one day.
It's a good gig.
Yeah.
It's a good gig. A
Very
lot of
much.
people do well with it. No question about that. What's the player reaction when they learn that you do this sort of thing?
Yeah, some kind of check back before and they're like, you got hair, one of those numbers. But the players come and they enjoy it too. They see me kind of in a different element, and I think that's special. It also helps with the player coach bond and seeing guys like Aziz Al-Shair who have been through circumstances that most of us have not, and he's been through it. He's in there, taking people under his wing and just helping somebody experience a good day.
Right.
During that event, and the players seem to really enjoy it, and I'm thankful with those guys who participate along with me.
I have to ask you this because I think the first time I saw you really coaching the team was during this time of year, and we had one of the big monitors out there. It's like this huge flat screen or something.
Yeah.
I'm not describing it properly, but you're demonstrating, you're showing the guys something, and I thought, he's a teacher. He's a coach, he's a teacher. How has your style of teaching and relating to the players evolved over the years, if at all? Is it the same thing? This is the way that works, or what have you added to it or taken away or whatever?
Awesome question. View myself as a teacher every day, and just the subject material is football. Like, I'm a teacher first. The fun part of my job is to find out how to have 53 different sets of ears that learn differently, getting them on the same page. Great. So my teaching needs to reflect that, and I need to make sure I'm accommodating each different learning style. So to be a good teacher, you got to understand your audience on who is learning in what ways. So big into the demonstrative motions and me getting out and doing the physical. I always make sure, like a little thing I do, if I'm coaching you here, you're looking at me, but I'll turn around and coach this way because this is our right hand, and I want you to see it if you're facing that way. Just little things to be precise. We've used the video screens to class on the grass before.
I like that.
Class on the grass. And
nice.
just do some different, media as well as, real time movement with football and keeping it, different elements to teach with.
Frank, I always think about you during the rookie minicamp because there are a lot of times when rookies set foot on our campus and they may have never played special teams.
That's right.
May have never been a gunner. They may have never been a protector on punt team. I'm watching Woody Marks, and I love Woody. Woody's done a lot throughout his career. I don't know how often Woody was the wing on punt, on punt protection. So now you got all these guys that have never played special teams, and you're basically introducing it to them for the first time. What's that experience like, not only for them, but for you to really kind of take it back to the basics for them?
Yeah, back to the basics. So first off, I got to find your baseline.
Yeah.
And obviously we've met with these guys. It's not like day one,
right.
we show up, don't know who you are. But there's going to be an introductory level of fundamentals, and you're going to have that progression plan of teaching from different points of view. Like, all right, I'm going to make it relatable for Woody. Woody, this is pass protection against a blitzing linebacker, and we need to stay inside out. As an example, right? Super generalized example right there, but try and make it relatable. And then we don't let them, the other part is with those specific cases, there is a total blank canvas. So you only know how to do it, quote unquote, coach's way, like my way, because you don't have a bunch of other experience. Quite different than a free agent that you sign who's played elsewhere for 3 years in a different system.
Yeah.
So everybody's different. The rookies, a lot of progression plan teaching, start to finish, and you're trying to fast forward their learning quickly to get them up to speed. But a lot of those guys really don't play a lot of kicking game. Some do. Some you got to go digging back to tape from 2020 or 2021. When they just stepped onto their college campus, and now it was probably at another university. Right? They've transferred 3 times since, so hit the portal. So, you got to do some digging. And you got to do some projection. You got to do some looking at, okay, does that movement skill set, even though it's on offense or defense, does that fit what I'm going to ask them to? What type of tackler are they as a safety? What type of coverage player are they? What do they have instincts and ball skills as a DB? Great. Can he go down a punt as a gunner in the plus 50 territory? So, you do some of that, but when you get here, you're a blank slate, and we're gonna build them with a strong foundation and grow up from there.
Yeah. So we see offense and defense practice situational work all the time. Special teams, it's a situation every time.
Every down.
And you do have those end-of-game situations, too. Didn't we have one at the end of the Colts game, 2023 finale?
Big
Get
time.
to kill the clock, the safety. Is that – I mean, you don't have much time to practice that kind of stuff. Some of that must be drawn up in the dirt. Okay, you do this and that and the other thing. Tell us about those situations.
Like to think we're prepared on as much as we can be.
Yeah.
There's a little street ball and everything, right? You
Yeah.
gotta go play ball.
Yeah.
But no, nothing can be exactly precise. Just like the red zone offense, like they're gonna practice from the 1 yard line. They're gonna practice, but there's gonna be a 12-yard line where you're kind of in that no man's. Like those are going to happen. So you cannot prepare for everything. Truthfully, the special teams nuance situations have lessened a lot with the new kickoff. For example, how are you going to play the end of the half kicks? There used to see deep squibs just to get the ball bouncing. They can't set up a beautiful return track and catch it on the fly. Maybe the fullback returns it instead of the deep return man. So those are gone. 1 second bunt, just all of those. They're kind of eliminated in a way. They've changed going into this year. May I talk about the new kickoff stuff?
Yeah, absolutely.
So going into this year, right, you cannot onside kick until the second half.
Right.
Okay? So at the end of the first half, and there's, 7 seconds left, go ahead and kick a touchback. They have the ball on the 35.
Yeah.
Like they can get one play and then shoot a long field goal.
Yeah.
So you have to kick off and you have to kick it in the field of play if you elect and want to run time.
Yeah.
Right.
So like there's no put the ball on the ground and just let some time burn off. You have to land it in the landing zone and get. So all of those are the new nuanced situations of how you're going to burn out those last, call it 15 seconds of a half. So we ended up the 2023 regular season on week 17 with a safety. We practiced that intentional safety from, really backed up. That happened from 22-yard line. I think.
It was pretty
And
deep.
Cam Johnston had to run,
Mm-hmm.
and we still had to kick off after that. If you remember,
Right. Right.
do you remember what happened on that
There
play?
was 1 second left.
There's 1 second. We couldn't burn one more second, but you teach the punters like, you're not a ball carrier. Don't even take a hit and risk fumbling that ball, right?
Right.
Like that would be the
Bad
biggest man.
Yeah.
So we kicked off with 1 second left. Do you remember what happened?
It was lateral, and then they ended up.
We got a takeaway.
Yeah, that's
Big
right.
stat
that's
right there.
right, that's
Big
right.
stat. Henry.
Yeah.
I think Henry came up with the ball.
That's right.
They were
That's
doing the
right.
lateral.
Popped out.
That's a kickoff takeaway. I don't know what you're looking at.
Yeah. That counts. There's my bonus.
Amen. That was awesome.
Onside kicks.
Yes.
And the potential changes of what can happen. I think we all, it's an onside kick situation. I mean, I don't know what the percentage chance has been lately. It's been maybe like 3% you were going to get it.
Right.
Do you think some of the changes that have been talked about, Frank, might generate a couple more or a few more hope in the onside kick again?
Yeah, the thought is that they're going to move the kickoff team up about one more yard where their front foot is on that yard line. We'll see what the final ruling ends up being after the owners' meetings. And hopefully that gets what everybody's looking for. Keeps the onside kick pure. It allows for an uptick in chance for recovery just because the coverage team is down there one step earlier so that bang, bang, maybe that ball jars loose a few more times, results in some more recoveries. And they're still restricted by formation restrictions and alignment that you have to be to satisfy the rules. 5x5. They don't want any looping overloads for safety reasons. So as we'll see what it ends up being, but I do think just by moving up a yard, if that's what it ends up being officially, that'll end up scoring a few more recoveries. We'll see.
Man, there was some crazy stuff with onside kicks when you look back at the day. Guys who would loop over, you got 10 guys on the side. I mean, just all the things that you used to be able to get away with if the onside kick. In college, you'd have like a 5-yard run up before the guy could kick it. I'm like, somebody was getting blasted with that ball. I always hated that onside kick for that reason.
You should hear, they said, special teams coaches, go figure this out. NFL. So special teams coaches get together. You should hear some of the ideas that come out. Man, we're going to start at 5 yards. We're going to start at 5 yards from the line of scrimmage, but the kicker will be behind you. In the kickoff return zone, every quarter you have to take a player out of the return area and get less and less. Like there's been some wild ideas.
Wow.
It's still all about the kick, though. You need a really great high hopper or whatever it is.
Pace, matching the timing when your coverage team is down there. I don't care what type of kick it is, whether it's the spinning sidewinder, we call that a chop, whether it's you saw it a lot more, which was the spike. You used to see that all the time.
Yeah.
Because that allowed, when you had a running start, enough time for you to get down and get a big impact hit on the
And the ball's already hit the ground.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
The ball's already hit the ground. That's the thing in college. You tell them day one, the college kids, the receivers that are on, there's no fair catching on kickoffs. If it hits the ground, you cannot fair catch the ball. So,
all right. Coach, thanks a lot for joining us. Best of luck with Coach's Cuts.
Can I give you one more thing?
Yeah. Do it.
I want to say thank you to Christina, my wife. She is powering this whole engine on Coach's Cuts when I'm at work today. She's out hitting the Costco's and the Sam's Clubs and buying all kinds of, basic essentials and socks and underwear and T-shirts for all these people that we're going to be serving. And so thanks, Christina, for all your help.
That is fantastic. All right. Great move to thank the wife. Awesome.
Important.
Yes. Go Texans. Thank you, Christina.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.